Hey, Aptera fans. Chris
It's Steve here with a major update on our road to production.
First off, we've placed a purchase order for our first 40 production bodies and chassis. These are components that will become our first customer vehicles. Our engineering team spent the last few months refining these bodies and chassis with everything they learned from our validation builds. And now that work will show up in real production parts, which will start arriving in October. For years, our vehicles have lived as prototypes, validation builds, and CAD files. What shows up in October is different. These are the parts that will become the first vehicles we deliver to our community. We couldn't be more excited to be this close to our first batch of production vehicles. And we've got even more updates to share.
The first news is from our board of directors. Duke Reiter has joined Aptera's board as an independent director. Duke has spent some 3 decades working where architecture, urban development, and sustainability meet. He's senior advisor to the president of Arizona State University and executive director of ASU's University City Exchange. He also founded 10 Across, an initiative looking at energy, water, and climate resilience along the I-10 corridor from California to Florida. Now here's why that matters to us. Solar mobility doesn't take root through vehicles alone. It takes cities, universities, and industry all moving in the same direction, and Duke has spent a career getting exactly those groups in the same room. Having that kind of experience on our board as we move from validation to production means a great deal, and we're thrilled to have him with us.
And that brings us to other big additions this month. We have a new strategic investor to help us bring solar mobility to the world, Launch Design. We want to walk you through what Launch brings to Aptera and what it means for delivering solar electric vehicles to the world. Launch is a design for manufacturing company with more than 3,000 employees and multiple production bases. That's real, proven experience building vehicles at scale. This includes a pilot production facility where we'll kick off our initial production and develop the assembly fixtures and processes we'll bring back here to Carlsbad, California. It also includes a high-volume production facility where Launch is currently building a vehicle they designed from scratch, in-house, start to finish. That line can build over 50,000 vehicles a year today, and it has room to grow.
We've stood on their production floor and watched their lines running, and we came home to California confident this partnership gets us through initial production and up to higher volumes far faster than we could on our own. Our strategic partnership agreement with Launch covers a production program valued up to approximately $44 million, and roughly $15 million of this cost will come from Launch and trade for warrants for Aptera stock. Their investment will cover things like assembly fixtures, tooling, vehicle testing, pilot production, and high-volume production work. For the full details on how that's structured, check out our press release and our SEC filings. And this isn't new. We've been working with Launch behind the scenes for over a year. And in the last 6 months alone, that relationship has already driven big reductions in our projected bill of materials. This partnership is improving our unit economics before we've even built our very first production vehicle.
So what does this actually get us? Well, 4 things. First, design for manufacturing. Launch's process engineers are working directly with our team right now on fixtures, tooling, assembly procedures, and takt times. That's the detailed, unglamorous work that decides whether a vehicle can be built efficiently at scale. And it's exactly the experience that takes other companies years to build in-house. Second, an international supply chain. Launch's supplier relationships give us access to parts and tooling at cost that would really be tough for us to reach on our own at this stage. And instead of loose parts, their supply base will be able to deliver finished subassemblies straight to Carlsbad, California, so our team here spends its time assembling vehicles instead of fabricating components together from scratch.
Third, capital efficiency. The cost-sharing structure and lower tooling costs should meaningfully reduce the capital that we need to reach high-volume production, which we believe supports a faster ramp. That's a big part of why we structure the deal this way. Fourth, this opens up the door for solar electric vehicles globally. Because Launch operates internationally, the same infrastructure could eventually support Aptera building vehicles in markets outside the United States where we believe there is demand for a highly efficient solar vehicle.
Every recent company that has tried to build a genuinely new kind of vehicle has hit the same wall. The gap between a vehicle that works and a vehicle that can be built 10,000 times over. This is how we cross that gap. Working with Launch will accelerate our path to high-volume production and get Aptera vehicles into as many hands as possible as soon as possible. It's truly exciting to have our first large strategic investor join our mission, and we hope that it will spawn even more support for our global solar mobility ambitions over time. As always, thank you for being a part of this journey with us.
We couldn't do any of this without the community behind us. Every cheer, like, share, comment, reservation, pizza sent, bags of chips, and investment made brings us closer to a world where solar mobility helps make our communities and our planet better for everybody. We'll see you next time with more exciting updates.
Till then,